Hey, this is like, oh, you got to do these beard goals. I'm like, what do you mean? And then he sent
Well,
me
I
this
guess we're gonna start early because I don't. What the hell?
You click the button.
Well, I was doing something else entirely, and I don't know why it switched, but whatever. We're gonna turn those hotkeys off.
Good job there, D.
Nobody saw anything, but for those people who get curious later, you can do wild things with a beard when it gets to a certain length. Let your imagination run with that.
We're just
Nothing
trying to
wrong
go
with
to a
that.
new demographic for our audience.
Speaking of, Scott, how was talking to Cove, your GPT?
It was surreal.
Yeah.
Like, it sounds like a person. It could easily be, one of you, like, having a conversation with me. Like I said, I've never...
Like, it's not, like, perfectly articulate.
Right, but I've never heard an AI sigh and, like, eye roll.
Is that what you heard?
It was like, I see you're messing with me. Okay, well... I was like, do you go online to find memes? And I said, I only like really niche memes from at least 10 years ago. I was like, oh, are there any places that you go to for that? Reddit, deep fried memes, is a really good subreddit, like blah, blah. And then I was like, oh, I'm actually banned from using the internet since the Piracy Act of 1874. And he goes, and I could hear it doing this. Actually, like, I could hear that in the AI voice. And my wife was like, who are you talking to? And I was like, it's an AI. And she goes, that doesn't sound like a robot.
I gave it like really vague like descriptions of like, I had this trip with my mom when I was a kid that was up north near the Canadian border. There's a lot of radio towers, and it was an observatory. Do you know what I'm talking about? And it was able to find it. It found the exact spot. I was like, good lord.
Oh yeah, I said, tell me a story about Sharky, the superhero who helps kids with lost teeth. And it went on for like 10 minutes. Like, that was the only prompt. And it was like, he's a dentist by day, but at night he helps children. He works alongside the tooth fairy, and then he does it like this whole elaborate thing.
So apparently, it's able to. I haven't tried this yet, but I'm going to once my limit is back on again. Apparently, you can just like point your camera, and it's like, hey, what am I looking at? And it'll just describe it. And like you could do like,
yeah, we saw that on the actual like Twitter
a bare-chested
demo.
Man with a nice beard performing shibari.
But it's crazy just to be able to like whip my phone out and point it at something, and it's like, tell me what I'm looking at, like, and then tell me more.
Y'all remember Demolition Man's like, what do we do with this? like just asking questions at random, and it just tells them how to do things.
Yeah. Demolition Man was a better predictor for the future than anything else.
God, it's a little twisted. It's kind of true. It's weird. The there's this strange thing happening culturally across the U.S. where everything is just becoming even more infantilized, like beyond reckoning, and then this like fury rage thing on the outside. It's like ringworm for the psyche. It's crazy.
What are you talking about?
Nothing I want to get into on here. This is the wrong place for it.
That's fair. The words you said made no sense to me, so you'll have to educate me.
Thank you.
Oh, it's Melf time.
Yeah, it is. 2 years solid.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Kazu's right there too. Yeah.
You guys are still doing the same thing.
Oh,
I gotta be on top of the leaderboard, you son of a bitch.
I like that it just takes two of us to start a hype train these days.
Well, at this point, right? It's just like unzip.
Yeah, for right now. Unzip.
That's the image that D always did when we were sitting at the table. Just like,
yeah.
It always be right from the elbow too. So like,
yeah.
That gets the imagery for
like
you.
An elephant looking for a peanut.
Wow.
God, what was it? I think it was Dennis Miller's The Rant Zone or something, where he was talking about like having an enormous phallus is not necessarily the blessing that everybody thinks it is. And he talks about this kid in the locker room.
Yes, that's where I got that from.
Yeah, because he's just sort of like Duncan Loomis.
Running around for a peanut.
Yeah, he's just sort of like, he'd lightly wrap a towel around, it can look like it's an elephant's trunk, basically looking for peanuts underneath a circus tent. And it's like, and being, you know, a 2-liter Pepsi bottled freak is not necessarily the best way to go at it. I don't think her idea of fun is like hooking up 2 quarts of blood just so you can get hard without passing out. That was...
Yeah, that's very deep.
I've never forgotten that entire... That, and one other thing, which I will always use. 2/3 of happiness is penis.
There you go. And on that note, Legendary Encounter, Part 2.
So, how are you guys?
Surviving.
Oh, good.
I'm doing pretty good,
it's,
man.
Maycember. For those of us with school-age children.
I'm just ready for summer to hit. I'm ready. Let's go.
Let's see if I can find this. Like, you don't need to actually read it, but it's just an example of what the email from school looks like right now.
Y'all won.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh. I'm going to post it in the biz dev. You don't even have to read it just to see the volume of it.
Oh my god.
That is
Oh my god.
one email from school.
That's not an email, that's a thesis.
Yeah. That is at the point of like activities and like 8th grade graduation and the volleyball team is doing their thing and the dance is here and that like whatever. Like that comes through at, you know, the morning. And then I'm like trying to read through all this at, you know, 7:30 in the morning, 5 minutes before I take Inky to school. Like, is there something I need to bring? Do you need money? Do you like do you have to like turn in a book? Like, I don't know what all this is.
What's happening?
And then I get one more for the twins, you know, of similar girth.
Girth.
You gotta make sure you have yourself an attorney before you show up in the campus.
It really like, we did a dance thing last night, dance thing on Tuesday. Today was a picnic. Tomorrow's field day. Like,
you should just copy the whole email and throw it into Beam's notebook and just say, summarize this in like a sentence.
oh my gosh.
A sentence.
So ChatGPT has the summarize our conversation. So I did that after like this whole long conversation. I said, could you summarize our conversation? And then it was like, just popped it out.
I use that at work actually. Like when someone sent, I saw like this big paragraph of stuff, and I read through it and I was like, okay, I think I understand this. So I threw it into Bing's Copilot notebook feature, and I was like, can you summarize this? And it was just like one sentence, and I was like, oh, that makes so much sense.
So when I was doing the Stanford AI classes, that was one of the features that they told us to use. Was like, we're gonna send you this 100-page journal article about this like research study. Ask the AI to summarize it, and each of you ask a different AI, and we'll compare summaries and see and look at bias in AIs and how, you know, 5 different AIs read the same article and summarized it differently.
That's interesting.
And then if you just summarizing, you're like, well, clearly the takeaway is that if we have more taxes, then it's going to cause to this. And another person's like, what are you talking about? My takeaway was, you know, this other thing entire, like, yeah.
Well, I mean, you just treat it like it's another human being with an extraordinarily high intellect. That's the only thing.
That's basically how I looked at it. Like
A high intellect who's not reliable, an unreliable narrator.
Well, the thing about that is that human beings are just like that. They'll miss things or misrepresent them, or they'll do, like, that's what bias is. It's looking at things that it thinks are pertinent even if they're not. It can't be completely neutral. And AI they're crafted from the psyche of humanity, so they're going to have that flaw.
Absolutely.
It's super fascinating to me, at least.
Mhm.
Yeah. Like I said, I just signed off on. I just gave the compliance officer signature on the AI for work for use with our patients. So it passed my test.
As I
You're
just
able to
listen in the
hear this-
background.
Because she's being a bitch and she won't stop trying to get my attention because she wants to go out into the living room and bark at things and I'm not letting her do it.
Oh, you're talking about a dog.
Yes.
Yeah, the amount of concern I heard from you is quite good.
No. You know, my ex is not here. Legally, I have to be more polite. Anyways. Do we have an available synopsis ready to go, fellas?
I mean, we attacked. Danny helped as much as he harmed by like
I think you helped
creating
more
a
than harm.
superheated, misty, ashen sauna.
Malcolm's voice coming from the mist going, Donnie!
That was
After
pretty
being
funny.
half electrocuted, yeah.
Oh yeah, then I like summoned lightning or chain lightning through all of the metallic wetness. Exploded sprinklers. The dwarf dude is like being brave, and my mom passed out.
The dwarf?
I don't know. You keep calling him as like
Memphis.
short and solid, so I'm just pretending he's a Shadowrun dwarf.
Yeah, he's not Gimli. He's just a shorter dude.
I like that though.
I mean,
I like the idea.
is he Kevin Hart tiny?
Oh my god. That's pretty funny.
Well,
So-
yeah, I mean, pretty much. It's just been we've been in the encounter this whole time, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, Malcolm's been fighting in the mist, trying to disrupt whatever he can. I mean, that's what Malcolm was doing.
I think you've been doing a pretty good job of it.
Well, 100%. The present status is that you are very much. Oh, that's how I did it. You are very much at the back end of the conflict, closest to the gateway out and into the street. You're just past like the halfway point of the main drive coming in. Where you've got Hugh still on the right hand side taking cover. You have Danny and Barnaby who are taking the left hand window, and we have Memphis coming through the center and trying to protect the house from catching on fire from that direction. So that's basically the position of everyone. Agreed?
Yeah,
Agreed.
We were on round 5. We had killed 13 of the targets out of 20 so far.
So far. Yep.
According to the, yeah, it's Danny, then Hugh, enemies, then Malcolm is the kind of around order right now. Or at least that's how we've been doing our activities.
Okay. Let's see here. I've also got to get.
Player.
I'm thinking I have it saved here still. I do not, actually. So, let's go ahead and just start off. We'll get a new order going. Why don't we roll the... wand with a silencer? Fucking Mad Eye
That's
Moody.
Great.
Vince Clotho.
Well, we'll do a combat sense check and get our order established.
Oh my god, I've been dealing with too many password resets, so I almost did underscore. I was like, 1d10 underscore this.
Ha 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 ha. Oh, Hugh is not on it.
And okay, so Memphis is still going to be at the bottom, mainly because he came in last. So he's going to be there. All right, so that actually puts Danny up front. So you're going to be taking the next one, and you just let off, I think, with that chain lightning spell just a moment ago. There's a lull in the fighting as things kind of go a little bit more quiet after that snap of electricity. The ozone is really thick in the air now, and it's mixing with the ash smoke and all of the rest of the other rampant pollutants that are going up into the sky. Plus, visibility is starting to get worse and worse.
All right. How many can I see from my spot? Because there's a handful.
You can see
left,
shifting movement of maybe 3 to 4 at most, but you don't know if it's the same one or multiple, but they're shifting around out there. Memphis is staying at the center line, trying to keep them from coming into the house.
Is my vision impaired enough that I have like a penalty or anything like that?
Well, in this case, if you try... Well, your visibility is just cut down. That's literally what you can see. If you want to look into it, and you rolled like an awareness to try and get an idea, or combat sense to even get like specifics, you could do that kind of a thing, and that would have a penalty to it.
I just mean more like if I'm trying to target, is...
If you can at least see the target to some degree, or like a target, the only difference is that if you're doing precise spells, if you're trying to make sure you're hitting an enemy, there's a little bit of a chance, just like kind of random, that you could be targeting Bill on accident, but...
Oh, no, that's fine.
Poor Bill.
I just don't want to miss. So it's more a matter of like, will I try to like blow and like clear the air or something like that?
Yeah, I mean, you can attempt to try and clear the atmosphere or like, get rid of this, because it's starting to come into the house now.
Yeah, so as much as I want to start pew-pew-pewing, I think, a little control might be better. So
Okay.
I want to kind of modify. I've got this like repel, that I've typically used either for like a big push of like large objects or like my, pick up a bunch of coins and like zap them out. I kind of want to just like, shockwave like wind sort of to drive all the motes of ash and whatever in the air away to give everybody a better chance of actually seeing their targets.
Right, you're trying to create a wide wave pulse.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's actually doable. That's going to be standard target. I would just say you're probably looking at 2 minute, like a 2 threshold minimum.
Okay, so last session a couple weeks back was my 50th, so I got a major milestone. And I chose the Evocation Mastery, which is target number and threshold for improvised magic is effectively lower by 1 point.
Okay, so that means 7 and 1 threshold then.
Okay. Cool.
Looks like Danny's going to be breaking the brakes off here.
Oh, not 1d10, 5d10. Yeah. All right. I'll spend a point of luck to erase that 1.
Okay. That meets minimum.
So, that gives me 1 success.
Yep.
So yeah, he's just gonna try and like, gather up and then just like push the fine particles and everything away, not the bodies. So
right.
That's the difference of how
you're going to just create basically a raucous wave of air. It's going to be coming from the bottom and pushing up, because the whole point is that you're going to just basically use it like a huge snow, like a snow scooping shovel, and just kind
I'm
of like bring it up and off the ground. It'll still have like this
Dual
feeling
wield
of
his air
impact,
can.
but it's not going to have any damage. But the like a single success like that, you just inhale once, you breathe out. There's this pulsing light in the chest, and when you do that, you feel the energy pop off. To make sure to track your tolerance as well, because remember, every single one, even if you use luck, still counts against your tolerance there. But you push that out, there's a pop and a pressure change as everybody can feel the air just kind of pick up. A very large amount of what was causing this, like, desolate smog that was covering the front of the house and everything else pushes straight out and causes a good majority of all of that to push out and away. You get your targets much more clearly. It's still hard to see because there's still a lot of burning material, but you've got it cleared out now where you can discern targets. And it, you know, even Bill's kind of like, you'll just feel like the wave of water and like some mud and other things will be kind of just blasted outward like you were standing inside of a wind tunnel for like half of a second.
Yeah, I'm thinking for the folks like Barnaby who are, you know, gun and normal senses.
Yep. Actually, hold on. Okay, it's gonna explode that one because I don't want to have him lose that. Okay. Barnaby cracks off 2 series of burst fire from over your head, like pushing his magazine to empty, basically. But he cracks off 6 shots, and he takes into one of his targets. The other one seems to be kind of moving around. You're not really sure if the impact is made, but then he goes into a tactical reload. He's like, "Thanks for clearing that out, at least!" Like that, and he slams the magazine in there and, like, racks the chamber. So,
do the shots appear to be working?
What's that? The shots?
Yeah, like his, you know, gunfire. Does it appear to be having an effect?
It seems like there's some kind of an impact to it, but you can't tell if the damage is significant enough that it's actually going to be helpful. And he wasn't able to discern that early on either. You guys were in the mad rush of trying to figure out who the enemy was. But he's just taking shots regardless, so it's hard to know if it's actually being hyper effective.
But we're not seeing any like obvious failure of like it bouncing off or something.
No.
Okay, cool.
It is cracking into their what looks to be almost like a petrified wood carapace almost now, because of the fact that everything's been sort of solidifying with the water coming down on them. So
yeah,
you still have a couple that are enemies on you, Bill, and they move in on you quickly.
All right, let's get to it. How much do the dice hate me today?
Well, my dice apparently want to just give you loves and kisses. By that I mean lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of damage.
Oh, can I dodge?
I mean, you can always attempt to dodge, you just have to roll better than them.
Alright. 1d19 coming up.
D19.
Alright. This maiden, I apologize for all my failings in life. I truly love you and I want to change. 17.
Well, 3 on the dice.
Oh, jeez. Okay, and then, yeah, you can make one more dodge because there's 2 enemies, so you can attempt to get out of the way of both.
I mean, that's kind.
I'm not heartless.
Oh, 23.
Okay.
That's a little bit better.
I was hoping for a crit because they both got crits.
Jesus. What could you
I'll
do?
get that in a minute.
Pitch is
Okay.
time to die.
Jesus. Well, luckily enough, they are coming in with like full melee at this point, so it's not like they're sitting there to like hammering you that hard with like any kind of supernatural ability. They just got in close. So Looks like we have and cloud titans. Oh, right, there it is. Duh. So we got 29 on one, and we have. I'm sorry, 7. Yeah, 29.
Christ.
And then we have 23. So 29 and 23 damage for the two of them as they come right in.
My armor is 24.
What's your resilience again?
5.
Didn't we correct this where we actually got you set up with the current?
That is the current.
No, because you're not rolling any dice. All armor has dice rolls in it at this point.
No, probably not then.
All right, you said it was 24, right?
Yeah.
Okay. This armor was crafted by one of the smiths in the Grand Market as well, so it's going to be sturdy. That means that we're going to be
resilience 5, integrity 59, and armor 24.
Right. So the armor itself is going to be pulled down. I'm going to say probably. The armor itself is probably going to be. Let's make the armor is going to be a D10, and your resilience will actually be 7. That's actually really high.
Are we saying like masterwork?
Oh yeah.
Right? Is that dang.
Dang.
Okay, so it's 1d10 plus 7.
Right.
Okay.
So if you roll 2d10 plus 14, that's how much you soaked up with your armor.
2d10 plus 14.
That's high end.
Ooh.
But I rolled 2 1s.
Wow.
I know. You're just getting eaten alive here, man.
I don't. Those 2 1s are like a pair of fingers, just like.
It's like, what's your new character concept?
Ash Monster who's chasing.
What was the damage again? It was 23.
You actually took 34 damage. I already calculated it for you. So you deflected 16 of 50.
Hey everybody, welcome to my new character Memphis. He's got a haunted past. And
where are you at on your health, though?
We are down to 2 health levels left.
Okay, well, you can now retaliate. You're actually up next.
Yep, you do so.
So we're gonna do one vitality surge
Okay.
as well. And vitality surge for vampires is for the SFR cost instantly regenerate damage, heals 1 health level for 4 SFR at rank 1. So I'm going to take at least one of those health levels. So I'm going to go back to having 3 health levels.
Okay.
Okay, 64. Okay, so we're going to use a vitality surge, and we're going to do 2 strikes per.
Okay.
And that's 23 added to each strike.
Yep.
Dang.
Attacking 1 target or 2?
So, I gotta get underscore again. It's going to be 2 strikes to one, 2 strikes to the other.
Okay, so 2 and 2. Got
So
it.
the first roll is for the target on the right. Wow, I can't. 25 and 27.
Both hit. The other one actually ends up being kind of in your favor. So that last hit right there, the 27. Nice. Okay. Yeah.
And that basically is +5 to my damage, so 21 damage per strike.
Okay. Okay, and then your 2 shots against the one on the left.
Is 20 is a so basically the okay, so you want me to roll those individually. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's fine. 32
Okay.
and 29.
Okay. And they do not meet either of those. So both your strike. Okay. So how this all looks whenever you're like you're out there in the field, these two come at you and they just rake claws across back and side, and then they start to pivot around you, keeping themselves perpendicular back and front of you. You move forward, giving 2 callous strikes right to the one that's ahead of you, since that you can move that direction. These 2 strikes cause it to blast open. The last 2 strikes that you deliver against your opponent from behind, because you go high-low, sending it to the ground, it crumbles into, like, you know how charcoal looks whenever it gets, like, suddenly chilled and it kind of just breaks apart almost like rock? That's kind of what happens whenever the first one goes down. And it's just steaming all kinds of, like, smoke and this kind of, like, putrid-smelling gas, almost, whenever you bring it down. And then when you move forward, you strike the one that was at your back, because you flip, and it's right on top of you, and it ends up, you do an in-close strike to its midsection, maneuver, and do another callous strike down towards its back and lower lumbar, as you're kind of moving off-center and getting out of the way. It staggers. It's not completely toast, but you did nuke one of them that was actually, like, responsible for doing some serious damage to you.
Awesome.
Jesus. And 16. There you go. Wow, yeah. Okay. So Hugh, you finally catch sight of everything that's going on. The air kind of clears. It's very sudden. As Danny issues some kind of other magical spell, you can feel the pressure of the air kind of push out from the house, and it kind of blasts everything forward. You suddenly get visibility, and you can see the melee that Malcolm is involved with, and he's continuing to, like, draw strikes. Another one of them seems to drop to the ground. And with that, you kind of have the visibility on the other remaining, enemies that are in the nearby area. So it's up to you. They're not really close to the front porch anymore. They're more surrounding Memphis and dealing with Malcolm towards the back of it.
I think I'm going to take this round to get off of my get out of my cover and get outside. I want to run towards not sprint, but run towards Malcolm. I want to back him up.
Okay. You can move at a flank to your right, going around in a circle, and you can have basically a perpendicular angle of shot that doesn't put anybody at risk, because you'd be you'd be shooting across the front of the house.
Shooting.
Yeah. So you'd be shooting, to Bill's right, on his left, because he had shifted and maneuvered, because the house is to his left. So you'd be sort of center lane. He'd be to your right, Danny and Barnaby to your left, and you'd have this entire lane that would be accessible to you if you were to go that route, if you were on their flank. Plus,
Yeah,
Memphis would also be out of your line of fire. It would just be, you'd have to be
goal.
careful.
My goal is to I'm wanting to flank, but also get close, because I want to make sure that Malcolm's not alone, because back to back is so much better than him just taking it all on. But while I'm getting to him, I'll use my mini max and take some shots, because taking a shotgun even in the vicinity of where Malcolm is. It's probably not a great idea.
Okay. Your mini max is.
It's a handgun.
Okay, gotcha. So you're picking pot shots at some of the enemies that are close by?
Yeah.
Okay, that's not a problem. Go ahead and fire away, sir. You're going to be moving out and across. Are you going to be keeping a reasonable distance?
Say again?
You're going to be keeping a reasonable distance from the enemy as well, like 10 to 15 feet, so that you're not getting too close until you can get around to where Malcolm's at. Because you're going to be taking a wide, almost hemispherical kind of like approach to it.
Yeah, that's my plan.
Okay.
I've got 3 shots, and or the rate of fire is 3. So I'll go ahead and just do 3 shots, aiming for the chest.
All right, you're taking 3 aim shots. Go for it. Yep. That means you get your accuracy bonus. Well, actually, you're moving, so you don't.
Yeah. Let's see here. Moving position to get.
Woohoo! Let's go, baby.
Mini-max.
Oh, I see your mini max. 9 mil.
Okay. Where is it? Hang on, maybe.
Do you have any modifiers, like any mods on your gun?
Yeah. It's got sights and a lamb sight.
Oh, cool. So you're going to be following that red dot.
It can support an angel mod. That's why I was wondering.
Oh my god, that would be pimp as hell right now. Although the plasma... Well, the plasma actually would work because there's contrasting temperatures with the water going off and their heat at the same time. That would not be bueno. Normally, it wouldn't really matter. These things are almost made out of fire. And here we are.
Dang.
Noise.
Okay. 28. Oh, I guess is it one?
These are
roll
3
per...
aimed shots, so you're gonna have to roll for each one. So you can just roll the.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's not a spray.
Uno, dos, tres.
Oh wait, you put your kicker on it? I love that. That's a skill.
Yeah, I love the kicker bit with the Master of None.
Dang.
Hey.
Oh, I got a crit.
You
Yeah.
did. Hit it again.
Sigma. Skibbity.
Nice.
Okay, damage for the weapon?
So it's 28, 24, and 38.
Right, what's the damage on your rounds?
The damage is capacity ammo. That is 6.
6? Okay. So, first shot, you definitely get it. It kind of, you can hear the thwack, like it's that sound where you hear the bark of the weapon and then you hear the impact of the bullet immediately after because of how fast it travels. You fire the second shot, it goes wide from your target. You can see it puff of dirt out in the yard beyond. When you take that last shot, you ended up getting, God almighty, you got like 17. Okay, so crits are nasty because what you do is you take the roll that you have, so it's 10 plus its secondary roll. You just slap that on top of the damage. And that's how these crits work instead of doing a multiplier. So you take 17 plus 6. That's how much damage you did with your last shot.
Damn.
Yeah. So it's, you drilled this thing. It like has taken notice of you. So you go out the window, you come over the porch, you manage to land it out there, you feel the spray of the water, you go charging around the outside. One basically tries to come in, you take that first shot, it staggers, and it tries to get its footing again. You miss with the second one, but you're still like moving really fast to get to where you need to go. That third one rears around to try and basically come at you, and it starts whirling up those same projectiles, whatever they were. Although it seems to be struggling with that quite a bit, so it doesn't manage to send it off before you have a chance to make that last shot. And when you do, it goes right through the dome, causing it to crumble, becoming ash and dust. Yeah, just like that, and you can see it crumble from the chest down. It just implodes on itself.
Nice.
Well done.
And I'm in a better position for our next round to help Bill. It's going to bring out my Vibra Bat. or my ASP bond.
Just
baton.
That bat. Good stuff, that bat. We do
Yeah,
like
that bat was a random like pickup loot from some dude, and like it's been.
It was a ganger,
Stay
yeah.
It's your best friend.
I still remember the first time I used it. I was like, I'm just gonna mock him out, and then he just explodes.
He
Yup.
removed his head from existence. That's what it was.
Yeah, just obliterated. And that's him around.
All right, yeah. So you drilled it. Okay. And while you're kind of doing that, you kind of move out, and it's actually kind of a good thing in a way that I'll keep doing this. That's why I keep running into trouble. Oh, okay. Thank God I haven't done that. I realized what was happening, and I really got to change my hotkeys. But thank God I'm not in like my regular mode, or I'd be flipping through all my stuff at random. Okay. So at this point, you guys can get like a rough estimate here. You're just a little over, like, there's only maybe a third left of whatever this force of strange monsters is. There's only a third of them left. So, it's getting to a point now where I think there's probably just, like, there's 6 on your, like, on a speed count. Memphis is dealing with one that's coming at the porch line. Actually, he's going to do that, and... Yep, that's what I thought. Okay. Well, the one that he ends up encountering, he does that same... There's only a slight moment where everybody can feel it. Mostly, Danny, you notice it. Whenever he takes that striking inward breath, there's this, like, you can feel like energy just pulling into him. And it's not like it's pulling out of the earth specifically or anything else. It's like right out of the atmosphere. He just draws it into himself. The next 2 blows that this guy delivers are extremely fast. He just does 2 almost like Winston style punches to one of his opponents that is directly in front of him. When that happens, there's a glow that comes into his hand, and you can see that he's hurting them severely. Like, whatever it is that he's doing is causing them to suffer some kind of agony, because when he does it, it actually screeches. And he pummels it twice.
All right, little key punch there.
Yep. Let's see.
I was thinking Bill would probably enjoy a flurry of blows style monk.
Do
Probably.
like Ip Man, like really crazy.
Yeah.
Oh no, it wasn't good. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Yep.
Evil.
God, I hate how my brain slows down when I'm trying to do something very basic. Right, okay. Yeah. It's staggered at this point. It does not, like, crumble and die, but it kind of hurtles backward 4 or 5 steps whenever he delivers those punches. They have a lot of impact to them. And you can even see that there's, like, this sort of a faint glow inside of the impact zone. Like, where his first fist made contact, there's a visible dent there. And it's staying there. It's not going away. It seems like it's even oozing some kind of, like, smoke as well. Like the wound itself just can't close or repair itself. And then, Danny, it's your go.
All right.
Oh,
The air has been cleared. I've been kind of watching how different types of ammunition have worked. And Danny is gonna, like...
Waterbend.
No. I already did that. With the sprinklers. No, I'm gonna, like, kind of, like, look at how Barnaby is holding, like, his stance. And, like, kind of ape that stance. And I'm gonna, like, Yu Yu Hakusho I want to use my dart spell that I'm very familiar with, but I want to add a little flavor to it because I don't want it just impacting on the outside. I want it to burrow in and then kaboom.
Okay.
Oh, you're gonna make it like a drill bomb.
Yeah, like a bunker buster, anti-armor sort of situation where I'm thinking that the crust kind of has hardened a little from the fire and then the water, and so I'm thinking I need to penetrate through that and then have it do its explosion.
All
instead of
right.
just bouncing off the surface.
Yep. So we're going for penetrative and we're going for explosive.
Yeah, so this is what I think I had said to you a couple of weeks ago, and I was like, I have this weird idea.
Well, what's funny is because of the fact that you took Evocation Master, if you were just doing Dart at normal, that would have been just a minimum 1 threshold like usual, but the actual the actual target would have been 6 because it's already a common spell and you're dropping everything down. So it's like,
Right.
yeah. So this is going to be a standard target because of the fact that you're adding on those extras, but it's only because the difficulty went up for adding a little extra there. I like what you're doing though.
So I'm trying to, improvise in the situation.
Yep.
And I've been saving it. So, oh, but Soulburn wouldn't apply here because it doesn't give me more dice to roll. Does it? Wait, how does Soulburn work? Soulburn gives me a bonus up to will to spellcraft for a single spell. So is that what's in play here? Spellcraft?
Well, you're casting a spell. That's our word for spellcraft. It's casting
Right.
a spell.
So, like, if I were to do Soulburn, my will is 7. So
Right.
I could
You could
add
drop
up
your
to 7.
yeah
Add up to 7 d10s
to a
it.
maximum of 10 dice. Yes. So in
Yeah,
other words,
yeah.
you could
Oh,
go
yeah, so I
full.
could
You
add-
could yeah. You could go
I
full
could add up to
full
5,
fucking
5
yeah.
d10s, so I could be
Yeah.
10 d10s.
Yep.
So that's kind of what I want to do. Like, just out and, like, hit as many targets as I can with this burrowing dart explodey thing. And then I'll suffer
Okay.
5 points of exhaustion after that.
Sounds about right.
You're going full horse.
I am. I'm ready. This has been going enough. I'm ready. But thankfully, I'll absorb one of the hits of exhaustion. It won't hit me. Okay, 10d10. So what's my target? Is it 8?
It's 8. Yep.
Okay.
Because you're juicing it up.
Juicy.
Ooh.
I got an exploder.
You did. It looks like I rolled a 5 on the next one there, but that's
Oh.
cool. Damn. Okay.
Oh.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
Lord.
You know what? Let's go with it.
It already rolled. I'm so sorry.
That's fine. We'll go ahead and we'll take it anyway. I want to see where this goes. I'm sorry.
No,
DM
just
rules.
one more.
Okay.
Sorry. I always forget to put in the explode, so.
Well, you got it that time, but that's okay. All right. So, do you want to use the elect to bump anything else up because you have 2 7s in there with 2 points of luck? You could literally like make those
I would
both
say that I
8s.
have my last 2 points of luck.
Yeah. If you wanted to do that.
I'll spend those. I'll zero out my luck.
Okay.
And
So that means
so
that you've
one-
got actually 3, 4, and 5 successes.
Okay.
Jesus.
And then, pass out. Not really,
Okay.
but
You're
Told
gonna
you
take.
the rolls are going to favor you.
Are you firing at 5 targets?
yeah.
Okay, so the way that I envision this is that you're going to be firing at 5 targets simultaneously. So I'll just make you do 1 attack roll with the spell to see how you do.
Okay.
It'll count as a burst.
Uh, 20.
Not fucking bad. Alright. Cool.
So yeah, my spell attack is a 16 and my base power is 12.
Okay. So, let's see here. They have a fairly high dodge. We'll see how they do. The first one got out of the way. Got too many dice here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Second one. This. Hit. This. Hit. And this. So, I mean, you throw a lot of damage downwind. And I've actually got a... Honestly, the 20 and the rest of it... I can give you surprise, which means you ended up getting 2 hits after all. So 3 of them just barely get missed. 3 of them go wide. The other 2 get impacted full on. Your power, what was your power again?
12.
Jeez. So 5 successes means that they stack like that damage into each bolt. So you're just going like that, and whenever you let go, that is 60 points of damage each. The 2 you hit are I gotta find out.
Obliterated?
Probably. Yeah.
And I have that's okay, because now I have a -5 penalty for the next 4 rounds.
Holy cheese balls! Alright, so, yeah, I mean, the damage that you see, so, like, putting this into perspective, you stand up and, like you were saying, you're mimicking the stance, so you kind of stand up and hold your hand up like it's more or less a gun. Like, so you do the face forward, that whole thing. There is that pitted, really blue-white flame that comes out. Normally it's like, the red gold, but this time it comes out as almost a blue-white, really super hot, and you can see the waves of heat coming off of it. When you formulate what you want to happen, it turns into these, like, bolts that go about this long. They're almost like 7 inches, and they're pointed, with the, tapering wider at the center and then again thin at the end. So they look like they're double-tipped, almost needle-pointed. So when you launch these things out, the ones that miss just go astray. You hear multiple thunderous explosions. The 2 that get nailed, it goes in. There's only a half of a heartbeat before the impact causes the explosion. Because it goes, and that's all the time they get. When they blast apart, it's just a shower of like cold ash and soot. That's all it is. And you can see that 2 of them definitely just get completely destroyed. Even with their armor, there's just nothing that they can do about that.
Nice.
And then you're like, oh shit, like that, and you just kind of like, your legs go really. You're gonna hear Barnaby's like, whoa, like that. He just kind of ducks. He like pulls you down underneath. He's like, holy crap, kid, like that, and turns up over the side and fires off another 3 shots.
Check out the show the chat or the thing, but check out the video I just posted. It's only like 40 seconds long, but it's like almost word for word like what you were describing, Scott.
Oh yeah.
Like scroll down for D, I believe.
God, there's so much
That
happening
right there. Like it's.
Oh yeah, this is from Mushoku Tensei.
Yeah, but like he made like a thing and then made it into a drill. Like,
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
isn't that perfect? It's a really cool scene anyway. So.
Yeah.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
I'm trying to like lean into like Green Lantern, power of imagination.
Yeah, well, and magic is heavily built on that whole idea. Alright, so he lets off another 3 shots. It does not seem that they do very, he's just kind of keeping cover. And you're just sitting there, like, trying to get keep your eyes open. He's just sort of like, what the hell did you do? He, like, looks around just trying to keep an idea of what's happening, like, looks at your mom in the center of the house. But, Yeah, you're
Yeah, I'm not
just,
like
eye
11,
rolling.
like the bloody nose or anything. Not
Right,
quite yet.
no, you're actually sweating profusely, almost like you have a fever. But, yeah, so you actually have made it over to where Bill is, which means that the remaining 3 enemies that are actually in this whole track now will kind of like, 2 of them will focus on you, the third will be on Memphis, as he was still kind of focused on that. But the other 2 were eliminated by this incredible display of magic. But yeah, so one coming at... Oops, that is not valid. That's also not valid. I need the right dice, man. There we go. Okay, you got to beat a 23 there, Hugh. Comes at you with a sweeping set of claws. It just kind of charges in. It doesn't seem to be... It's... When you start to look at how they're attacking, how they're moving, it's not like human intelligent. It just seems to be animalistic. Or something close to it.
With your 25 dodge.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's god tier. It's so friggin' funny. Well, actually, that's right, because you have a 25 base because of god tier dodge, don't you?
Yeah, so it's just plus 25.
Yeah, no, he only got a 23 on you, so you literally juke it out of, like, by default.
I don't even have to roll. That's hilarious.
No. Nope.
Well,
You're just,
what
all
about
you like,
fail?
it comes
No, what if
swiping
you
at you, and
botch?
you're just like this, you just step back. You know,
What
it
about a
basically
botch?
can't do it.
Come on, roll a d10, see if you get the botch.
I'll roll the d10 for the botch.
Why is Bill hoping for a botch?
Reverse exploding D10.
Look,
One,
I just
one.
want somebody else to understand the pain. Oh,
All right, Bill.
sure, why not?
You need
Yeah,
that,
they got a
what is
25 on
the
you.
opposite of exploding? Imploding ones. You roll a
Imploding ones.
one.
There's a
You
reason
come
why
back.
I did not opt for that
Roll
in there. I
another
just think
one.
that's mean.
You
It's just
drop
mean.
your weapon. You roll another one. It shatters when it hits the ground. A piece hits you in the eye. You're blind.
All right, so he's got the target that was behind him. That's on his right, and then so he's going to do 2 attacks towards that. And
Yeah,
then
you've only got the one target ahead of you. There was one other one that was sort of like in the center of the yard, but you know you've got the one that you had faced off against, and that one's still operating, which is the one that you were going to
Yeah,
be.
so he'll do 2 strikes to that one, then go after the
What'd you get for your dodge, though?
Oh, you want me to take a dodge?
Yes, I said it got a 25 against you, sir.
Oh, of course they do. Yeah.
I don't even think I could dodge that.
He can dodge it if he rolls really high. I don't know how low his dodge is, though.
It's my dodge. My dodge
If-
is a 4.
See, you see these things like roll high, and
He doesn't see that.
if the
That's
past
okay.
3 sessions,
He's the
3
undead
sessions
meat
have
shield.
indicated anything.
Actually, technically, because he's undead and vampire and sort of dried out, he could technically be a jerky shield.
Jerky's so expensive.
So, just roll that D10 plus 4, D10 plus 7. Nice!
16.
You beat the damage! The armor just eats it.
Nice.
Oh, yay!
Armor functions as intended.
Yeah!
Now it does.
Well, whenever
Anyway,
you're not
right.
rolling ones and you had the option of rolling 2 at the same time.
Oh my god! So
But it is your retaliatory point now. You can do those 2 strikes against this opponent. As you would
Yeah,
been
we'll do 2
dictating.
strikes to this opponent, and then we will move on to the next one, and do 2 strikes to that one.
Okay.
I mean, we'll attempt. God. Positive visualization.
You can do it, Bill.
32.
Very nice.
28. So that's the first target.
Okay. They both hit. And the crazy part is that you feel like the first strike is going to miss. Like you're almost positive. It gets down really low, expecting you to kind of do that. You change your guard, going from high, and then you match it from a low guard. It does not expect that, and that sweeping strike comes in from bottom to top, and then you follow it from a downward. So it just goes like that, and both hit. Wow, it sucked ass on its armor roll too.
So it'll be 21 per strike.
Okay. I've got it. All the damage you did was actually 32 in all because the armor only soaked up 10 of it.
Nice.
So it is still there, but you'll basically just go off and you'll go for the one that's got eyes on Hugh. So you'll double strike that one.
Yeah, so he basically is just pushing back the one with his attack, and then going to defend Hugh with a 30 and 32.
Oh my god, what the hell? Jeez. I rolled a 34 for the first one, and then it matched, which means the second strike hits. Jesus Christ.
Oh, Bill.
Dude, I don't know what's up with my dice right now. Whenever they're dodging, they're like, wah, 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 like they're going crazy.
No, your dice are Bill Hader dice and we just realized that now. We are comforting ourselves that notion. I am just going to continually invest into hard target, which will continue to raise my health levels. And then we're going to find a way to put me in adamantine armor.
I like it.
Hold on a second here. I'll check one thing real quick. I started at... Oh yeah. That's... yeah. Either way. Okay. So you come sweeping down on the second one as you break away from the initial target. The strike you deliver is powerful, sending it off to the side, and then Hugh will be able to follow it up since it doesn't go too far out of reach, and you have your companion Malcolm actually backing you up from the right. So you have your bat. It ended up taking a hit. Now you can take a swing at it while it's distracted.
Yep. So I holster my my gun, and take out the bat. And what I do is that I have it angled in such a way that when I take it out, I can like make it do the
Right.
the-
You just turn it on. Yeah.
Yeah, and then in the backswing, that's when I go forward, kind of thing.
Yep. So you like that. You can just hear it like there's a very minute, high vibrational hum whenever you activate it. Swing, better.
Okay. What is my melee? There it is. It's a flat 10.
Oof.
Yeah, not great.
All right. Well,
Guess
you
the god
swing.
made
You don't
it
lose the
better.
charge on it, but it whiffs hard. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Memphis will now be taking on the one that he's got. Memphis is now locked into some pretty intensive hand-to-hand combat. As he's kind of moving around, you can see him going into and out of close range rapidly, throwing a few strikes of his own and then juking out of the way, trying to avoid a strike, which this thing actually manages to swipe him, the claws going across the right shoulder of him. you can just hear him grunt as he kind of steps back, and then there's a pretty solid flow of scarlet from where the claws had dug in. But he seems to try. He seems well enough to be able to ignore it. All right, so Danny, at this point, it comes back to you.
So yeah, I have a -5 to all my rolls for the next few turns. So,
Jesus.
so I won't be able to land any spells. I'm basically on pause on spells. So Danny's gonna make just an awareness to see if he can gauge, where everything is. If what it's.
You can roll a combat
There.
sense awareness, and you can add your arcane.
Yeah.
Your arcane sight to that. Can't remember what it's
Yeah,
called.
that was my thinking. Is that I'm just trying to take
My own
note
damn
of the
system. I forget the
situation.
fucking ability. Yeah. Whatever that ability is, lets you see magic and stuff.
Well, the funny thing is, it gives me a +5, and I have a 5 penalty, so it just kind of cancels out.
Yeah.
So 18 on my awareness to just trying to gauge where we are with everything.
Your combat sense awareness, like any of that, like in this case, if you roll just straight awareness, what'd you get? Was it awareness or combat sense?
I rolled awareness.
Okay. Either way, you're still going to hear this. It's going to apply in. You realize that you hear sounds on the roof. It's subtle, it's quiet, your ears are ringing, but you pick up the fact that there's something up on the roof. Not good.
Roof! I'm just gonna shout, check the roof!
Like, you can see it's like, what? Like, Barnabas just says, like, what is the roof? He's like looking at you, and you're like, roof. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
okay.
Just take me a second, but there's something on the roof.
And he's like, well, I'm not leaving you here. So he,
Same.
tugs you over, and then Fireman Carries throws you over his shoulders and starts hauling you towards the kitchen, where there's not a lot of, access from, projectiles. He goes running across, drops you down there. He ends up pulling your mom and drags her into the same location. And then he's like, stay here, I'm going to go check it out, like that. And he goes up the stairwell. We don't know what happens to him after that. Okay. So the enemy that you were, that you swung at is very, very interested when it comes to, Bill. But so is the other one that he struck in, so he's pincered between them again. All right, we've got.
I think it's time to make him spit roast him.
Look, we're gonna
Eiffel Tower!
20.
we're gonna
22
where
and
you high five?
24.
Yeah, that's where you high five.
Nice.
You got your vibro bat and your sword. You Eiffel Tower.
22 and 24.
Is that just a bill?
Yeah, because they're both fixated. He struck them both.
well, let's roll my dodge.
Well, you also can roll parry,
Let's roll a parry because that's a lot higher.
Yeah.
$25.
There.
So parry is just using your melee skill?
Yeah, it's using your
Yeah.
melee skill as a way of deflecting
weapon.
attacks, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Parry with your arm.
Not really recommended against these things, really.
25, 26.
Okay, you manage to basically cut both of their attacks short. You swing your sword into them, causing them to kind of hesitate, and they crowd you a little bit. But yeah, they don't manage to strike you at this point. And they're on the prowl, going low stances, and kind of widening out again because they just were swiping claws, and you were able to use just standard deflects and keep yourself at a distance.
Riposte.
Yep. And now it is your turn to attack, Sir Bill.
2 to one, 2 to the other. So it's kind of like strike, 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 strike.
Okay.
Because he's just basically trying to keep them pushed and attack
Right.
them at the same time.
Nice.
9. 31. 30,
Yeah.
28.
Right?
All hit. They only got
21 per
20.
strike.
Yeah, they only got 27, and 24. Hold on. All right, one of them drops completely. The one on your left. After you got that final stroke out with that cross, it crumbles in, leaving the only other one still kind of like half alive at this point. Let's see here.
And then Hugh just.
Tiger uppercut.
I always heard it as fiber when I was a kid. I was like, why is he screaming fiber at people?
Fiber up your butt. That's
Yep.
always your tiger
Fiber
up
up
your
your
butt.
butt.
By the way, we're at the point where I have to like really try to beat my kids in Smash Brothers now.
Uh-oh.
It's not okay.
Uh-oh.
Well, that's when you need to break out the Uno.
Right?
That's like the new thing for Monopoly, where family members disown each other. That's the game that took over that one.
Uno?
Yeah.
Uno Attack throws cards at you. One time we were playing, Bill hit the buzzer, and it like shot, like, no joke, like 40 cards, like, at him. And then the next turn, he had to hit it again, and it did it again. And it's like, it was just ruthless.
Yeah, like the dice for these past 3 sessions.
Yeah.
All right. So one drops. Ken, I will give you ambush on the next one because it is so focused on Bill. How do you wish to approach this?
Overhead swing for the moon.
Okay.
What does the ambush give me?
Gives you a +5.
5.
And see what you get.
19.
Very nice. It's actually a lot better than what it was. How many kickers have you had employed so far? Do you already have all of them in there?
No, I've been saving the other one just in case I needed it.
Okay. Well, let's just see. Yeah, it gets a 23 despite that, so you go whirling aside. You end up kicking a huge divot out of the dirt, because whenever you're like that, it goes, and you can see dirt and soil just split apart from where the bat makes impact. But it seems to basically hop to the side. Alright, let's see if Memphis
I
can
should
clean up
just
his.
get my gun out again. I have the kicker on that.
Jesus. Holy Christ. Okay. When you strike the dirt and that happens, you only see this like powdery explosion from the front of the house, and you can see that Memphis is standing there. He's got this perfect side kick, and you can see that the upper half had just been like mostly blown away. The legs just collapse underneath the strike, and he brings it back in, just kind of like curling the leg back to the hip and then letting it go to the ground. And he struck that sucker so hard. There's just no shot that this thing actually survives that. Yeah, no. Yeah, no way.
I liked G4 back in the day.
Okay. Now, the field is cleared for the time being, but you happen to also notice something else. Let's have everybody roll their combat sense awareness. This particular initiative is now clear.
I miss Attack of the
Oh
Show.
my god!
Dang.
Wow.
Even with my
Outstanding.
5 penalty,
You're exploding.
I exploded.
Gotta love crits.
All right, so 20 for Danny.
And fail.
God damn it, Bill.
Wow.
All right.
That was just middle of the road.
Okay. So, pretty much everybody starts looking up towards the roof. Bill, you'll follow everybody's gaze to what's happening up there. There are 3 remaining of these creatures up on the roof that got missed somehow, but they're up on the roof. The bad part is that they're in the midst of that same ritual where you saw them launch the large sphere of ash and stone, but they're on the rooftop and it looks like they're aiming it straight down to go through the center of the house.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, and you can see that
Not our library.
there's movement inside of the house as somebody on the inside is rushing towards the top. Barnaby kind of moved through while you guys were busy out there in the field, and Danny and the rest of it seems to be gone. So you've got yourself, Hugh, and Memphis out here in the yard in the sprinklers, just kind of looking around, and you all realize this is bad news. So they're still in the midst of getting it ready to fire off. You have a moment to try and decide how you're going to stop this from happening.
Well, I know what Malcolm's going to do,
Yeah? What's that?
but he had an epic fail.
Well,
So how does
you're
that
noticing
apply?
it last. That's for sure.
Okay, I mean, he's just going to use... Malcolm's just going to use Dancing Spirit times 2
Yeah.
to take the nano cord, and then the kilt fabric. So he's basically gonna just direct these 2 fabric rope to grasp each of the
creatures,
the creatures, and then pull them apart.
Right, you're going to
fling
attempt to
them
try
back
and
into the
bring
yard.
the ritual to a halt, because if they're not in there, they
Yes.
can't do it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
Scorpion, get over here.
How many feet have you got?
Well, I mean, the kilt's 9 yards.
Right. So that's
But
27
can it
feet.
just, so can it just operate? Can it operate independently with dancing spirits? Because that's the thing.
You
I've
have
never
to be
really
in
understood.
contact with the fabric, I
fabric.
believe. Yeah.
Okay, and the nano cord is 20 feet.
Okay, so you've got, if you were to wrap, tie, do whatever to the end of it, you could get yourself 47 feet of length. So you'd still need to rush towards the house and get closer from where you're standing. You don't have nearly enough, so you can just sprint to get to that location. Sprint,
And
slide
then
to a
use
stop,
the
and then
two-
try.
And then use the 2 fabric stuff.
Right, you're gonna have to get up close because your running speed, actually, probably not even your sprint. Your running speed will allow you to get all the way up to close enough to do that. Memphis, on the other hand, is going to try and parkour his way up the side of the house to get to where they are. And Hugh, while they're running forward to try and take care of this, do you want to add to anything?
I'll take out my pistol and see if I can shoot their hand.
Or shoot them, or whatever? Yeah, okay.
Well, you said that they're doing a thing, right?
Yes. They don't seem to have human nervous systems, though, so shooting the hand may not be as effective. But then again, anything is anything.
Well, then I guess I'll just go for headshots. You said there's 3 of them, right?
There are 3 up there, yes. One that's going to be used for this, whatever this is. Probably a spell is the closest approximation. But the spell that they're going to enact would pummel this thing straight through the roof and set the whole place on. The house is lost if they succeed on this.
I guess I'll do 2 shots on the right and 1 on the left. So just trying to
All right.
just distract them enough that they stop. Or if I can kill them, that'd be great.
Oh, then I need to do an athletics check with
Yep.
mine. So I need, and because
They are utterly
have-
and completely focused on the task at hand. They are not going to be defending, so...
okay, so as long as I don't get a fail, right?
Right. Nice.
Noise.
That gets you well within range.
So basically, he doesn't fail for the rope and then for the kelp material.
Right.
It's a body essence check against my body of 10.
Okay. Well, get that essence checker rolling. And then, Ken, let's see what your shots are like. How's Memphis doing? Oh, goddamn. Boy, Spider-Man.
Ooh, 21.
Jesus.
A pair of 21s.
So
Whoa. That's 5 successes all together. Wow, that's crazy.
body of 10.
Damn. Okay, and then
I got
okay.
all the middle range. 21, 21, 23.
Okay. They're not defending, so you basically get surprise on them, so that means a +3 for your shots, plus you're taking aim, so that means that there's... Does that gun have an
But I'm
accuracy
not moving.
bonus? Huh?
But I'm not moving either. I'm
I know, that's
just,
what I mean. You're taking aim shots, plus accuracy, plus, the, because the accuracy and the aim shot are what combine, and then you've got surprise on top. So does that gun have an accuracy bonus?
Is a 0.
0?
No.
Okay. Alright, in that case, you get the +3, so that means that you have 24, 24, what was it, the other one?
26.
23, so it'd be 26.
26? Okay. That's really freaking good. When you fire these 2 shots, 2 of them go into the primary target. There were 6 each, right?
Yeah. That's the damage.
Okay. Okay. The last one. Whew. All 3 shots go cracking into them, but they don't seem to move. And then
Yeah.
right after that, Memphis is on the roof and rushing towards them. At the same time, you have Malcolm up on top, or like at the bottom here, just does his hop and gets to where he can be at the just at roof level, and he slings out his fabric. When he does that, he grapples a hold of it. Now, your kilt, other than the fact that it's moving, I don't believe has any warding or anything special about it, correct?
Nah, it's just fabric.
Okay. You wrap tightly around these entities and start to draw them apart like your own 2 arms, and they have to beat 5 successes. Oh my
Danny's penalty
God.
should be wearing off next turn.
There is a palpable struggle as you are trying to move them apart. You can even there's a flexing in your body that you can feel your muscles trying to yank them apart. The spell nearly goes off, and you wrench them aside just long enough for it to fail completely. The third ends up not actually, being suffused into the sphere, so it just comes rushing towards you, but you break the spell completely. You just pull them apart. Your kilt on the right side, because the cord is not going to have the same effect, but your kilt, on the other hand, is smoking and burning the moment that it made contact. So it'll catch flame in the next round or 2 if you keep holding onto it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, in this case, are you going to keep them restrained?
Yeah.
Okay. So we've got one that's rushing you up the middle. You still have access to your sword weaponry, etc. Despite the fact you're restraining him.
Alright, well, he'll blast all 4 shots at it.
Okay.
fail.
You have luck?
Nope. 29. 29.
I mean, that's 29's not bad.
32.
Heyo.
Heyo.
So fail, 29, 29, 32.
Okay. So the fail and the 29, so the second and fourth hits actually manage to get in. As it goes in, claws swinging, and you start your attacks when it gets in too close, as it seems to be doing a mad rush. Okay. Memphis is going to be supporting you because he's on the roof with you right now. He goes to take the one that's got itself wrapped up in the cord, and he goes charging after that one. But he moves fast. Although his strikes seem to be hitting something closer to a brick wall. He actually shouts out in pain whenever he makes the third strike. You can see that his hand is like not working the way that it should be whenever it comes down to it. And then a beleaguered and fatigued Barnaby manages to get up onto the rooftop and start taking pot shots at the one that's on the far right of you, Bill, that you're restraining with your kilt.
Fucking stairs.
Basically. Since it's restrained and can't move, he takes 3 successful shots without failure, firing a full burst into it.
You like to hear that.
Yep. And then he fires another very selective set of shots. He screams at Memphis. He's like, "Back off!" like that, and he fires another burst at the other one. Damn, boy.
God damn. I'm sorry, Scott, but that. I cannot.
It is hurt.
I can't imagine being a parent walking into that
You just hear that crash
and then having them explain that.
when the kid gets like hit in the nuts, so he's like stunned.
Like I don't think he's even remotely concerned that the entertainment center fell on him.
No.
Oh my god! And the TV like hit him on the head too, because he's like, like that, and the fucking TV's right there.
Over like that, right?
Oh god!
That's why you secure it to the wall.
More interestingly is the fact that, like,
Someone pushed it over. There's no way you just bump into it and just like falls over that hard.
I don't see anything behind it. Well, the funny thing is that if it like normally when you see something like that falling over, if you have somebody that you care about that's going to be underneath it, you usually try to stop it. You don't normally just run your ass off somewhere. Some brotherly love right there.
Brothers. That's just straight up brother love. It's like, you're on your own.
Wow. All right.
Anyway, sidetracked. Sorry.
Yeah. So, he's taking these shots. 2 of them are restrained. And Memphis and Barnaby are taking the one on the left. So, Hugh, what's your move at this point? Are you going to stay down there and keep taking shots?
Yeah, I mean, there's not much time. It wouldn't. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you also have the one that we didn't defeat that you whiffed the bat past.
But no, everyone on the ground is down at this point.
Yeah, that's because Bill, you totally knocked them all dead. The field was clear.
Okay, thank you for reminding me.
Yeah, I'm gonna just take 3 more shots.
All right. I would say as a tactical point, put every single shot you have into a burst and hit a single target.
Yeah, that's what
you're gonna maximize your chances of doing.
The first time I went with 2 shots because I was trying to just like knock them dazed or something, like
Yeah.
stopping whatever's happening. But now
Break
they've stopped it.
concentration.
I can focus.
Oh, let's see what you got there. I've never been called out so accurately in my life.
Human.
Human large child, specifically. Nice, with kicker. Woohoo! So you fire 3 more shots downwind.
Oh, I got a crit on that one.
Yeah, you better take care of that, for sure. Oh, that looks like it rolled a 1, though. So that
No,
means
that's the
that's...
kicker.
No, that's my kicker.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, roll on your... Damn. Oh, it's still 11 more damage, though.
Yeah.
So... Woohoo!
Woo-woo!
That one drops dead. You take those 3 shots, it goes into its side, the shoulder and the head, and it falls to ash. And you can see the smoking, burning, like, end of the kilt just kind of, like, falling out in a way as the thing just kind of, like, goes off to the side. Luckily enough, that means the spell that they were attempting is no longer viable.
Excellent.
Yes, indeed. So, that last one is still trying to come at you there, Bill. It's going to make 2, like, claw swipes at you.
Okay.
It's got a 28 and 24.
28 and 24. Okay,
Yep.
well.
You can do that parry, sir.
Parry.
Harry
25.
the Platypus?
Parry, thrust, good. Anyway,
Riposte.
I thought it was
25.
riposte.
25, 26.
okay. So only one of them gets in. Roll that D10 plus 7. Chat's getting goofy.
The goof troop.
16.
Damn, boy, you soak it up again. It comes at you low and to the side, and it just hits the armor. You can see it raking right off. There's even sparks. Despite the fact that this material is somewhat soft. All right. So, Memphis will then attempt to back you up, sir. By taking the one that's wrapped up in the cord, doing miserably. Bill, then Barnaby fires another 2 bursts into the same one. And he manages to get it, so let's see here. This will be the last one for his mag. Okay, brain's starting to work now. Yay!
Q needs to reload next turn.
Man, he clears that last one, so both of the ones that are on the ends now, blown to dust. You only have the one that's right there in front of you, so you can go ahead and make your strikes, Malcolm. What we got going on?
Okay, so that's 29, and then a fail, and then a 27 and 27.
Okay. Okay.
Of course, I put it in the wrong chat, so
Okay,
Yeah.
that's either way. I trust you. I don't have to worry about that. Three of them actually managed to hit, surprisingly enough. So, I gotta go here. Alright, so that's gonna be 1. Okay, yep, that would do it. Yeah, those strikes get it pretty hard. Whenever you're making these impacts, the blade is going through and almost coming out hot. It seems to be kind of like it's actually kind of stunned whenever you hit it those 3 separate occasions, and it kind of lingers out to the side. Ken, you do have a shot on this third one because of where Bill's kind of shifting and moving off center because he's never going to stay directly in front, and then Memphis and Barnaby will be kind of closing in on it. But if you want to take a shot at it, Ken, you are more than welcome to do so.
No, I think I'm going to start heading inside. I want to check out how everyone's doing.
Got it.
They seem to have it in hand. There's no... like, based on what I'm seeing at this point, there's no danger to him.
Memphis comes in to support you, Malcolm. He throws a kick in. It manages to void the strike at the lower part, but then he follows it up with this incredible sort of like spinning roundhouse type maneuver. And the roof is not easy to do this on, but he ends up landing it pretty well, only sliding down some of the shingles, only a small margin. But the impact sends it tumbling off and then down into the yard, where the sprinklers are still going.
Maybe I was wrong.
But he's standing up like this, and he's still holding his hand. He's like, broke my wrist. And he's like, you be able to handle that thing down there? Just looking to you, Malcolm.
I was like, hey.
He's like,
Just casually.
he's like, I'll support you from here. Like that, he just hops down from where he's at, and so the two of you can leap on it.
Oh, you wanted to roll on that one.
Yep,
Oh.
you'd be correct, sir.
Does he still have the rope around it?
No, this was the one that was in the center that was not entangled.
Oh, okay. That's fine.
But you now have 2 things you can entangle it with.
Yeah, so he's just, well, he doesn't want his kilt to burn anymore.
Right.
So we're going to roll 1d17, 1d10 plus 17.
D17.
It has been a really long few months. So he's going to do a 25 to bind it.
Okay. You're using the cord for that.
Yep. And then we're going to do 10d10 that has to try to beat it.
Okay.
Oh my god, it's this.
Okay, let's see what you got, sir.
So, nothing. 7.
Nothing 7.
No.
What?
No, he only got like 7's the highest one roll he's got.
Oh, you keep rolling in the Night City OOC.
Oh my god.
All right, so you guys, I want you to roll a D10 for me, please, just flat.
Just
Higher,
go
better.
or everybody.
8.
All right, you still succeed. You guys matched. It was 0 successes on both sides.
Oh, funny.
Oh, awesome. Okay,
But you
so,
managed to beat it.
he
You
just-
tie broke it.
So he basically is just gonna whip his hand up
Yep.
and then just, the Hulk smash thing. Just whip it up and then slam it straight in the ground with his full body.
I can be crazy too. Look at me. Anyway, so yeah, I mean, you just lift it up, and it's going to be considered a limb of that length. So yeah, you bring it up and slam it down. It's restrained, so it can't really fight that. It's just going to take impact.
Mm-hmm.
Happy birthday to the ground.
Yeah.
So basically, he's flinging it almost like Well, wrapping it around, I'd say about 5 feet to wrap it around. So he's flinging up 15 feet in the air and then slamming it straight down with his body of 10.
Yeah, you're just whipping it up and then bringing it back down again. Okay. Why don't you give me a body essence check, please? Because you're pulling some straight up supernatural type shit right now.
That's a lot better.
Well, you also got one more 10 to roll. Nice. Okay, so that's 3. And you have a body of 10. So, technically speaking, that's approximately 30 damage just swiping down at the dude. And, jeez. Yeah, you hit the ground with this thing, and there's this horrifying crunching sound as it makes impact. And it can't struggle free, and it just, while you're holding it there in the dirt, the water, and everything else like that, it kind of just suffocates and dies because of the sprinklers that are still going, and just becomes doused like a campfire, and just slowly breaks apart. So, the last one met a really ugly end.
Like the marshmallow after it flames out.
Yeah.
It's just that like hollow shell of ash.
Jesus Christ. The yard's wrecked. Most of the wall's been destroyed because of Danny's spell. The house is actually only partly scorched and on fire from the back and sides. Yeah. Got a broken
Danny's
wrist and
like,
everything. Yeah.
It's been 4 rounds, I'm back.
Back and ready to rock.
I see Hugh walking in, and I'm like, hey, how do we do? Let's all quiet now.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, you can see Memphis is down there. He's just cradling his wrist right now. He's just like nodding his head while you're standing up. And he's like, that was close.
Aye, but what in God's gracious universe were those things?
I've come to take them, I call them cinderlings, for the most part. They're kind of a favorite infantry of some of my not-so-happy friends, enemies.
Oh, so you're friends. Wonderful.
Well, I knew it was a possibility. They must have been tracking us from outside of Violet's own headquarters, or something to that effect.
He just takes his flask out and he downs it and empties it to replenish his blood pool. I mean, sorry, his SFR. And he just taps out and says, "Yeah, I'm out. I'm gonna have to go hunting soon."
And he's just like, he's looking at everybody else like that. It's like, you know, you watch Danny go running towards the back inside of where the kitchen is from the, from the front porch. And there's still that scything cut that's in one of the, in one of the tall banister pillars that was in the front part of the porch there whenever he let out that scything strike. So, Danny, when you go back, your mother's unconscious, but she's not worse for wear. Her heart rate is steady, things seem to be pretty good, and she just seems to be incapacitated, which is good things. There's nothing broken, nothing seems to be out of the ordinary, but she's still just unconscious.
Can I delve her or something to see, since she was doing concentration and got
You could just roll your awareness to see what her magic is doing, to see if there's anything wrong or holding it up. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I rolled a 1, but the score's a 22.
Well, I mean, you've got her she seems to be alive. That's all you can really tell, and she doesn't seem to be hurting. There doesn't seem to be any kind of you cannot perceive anything wrong with her right now. It just looks as though she's unconscious and just overstressed. You actually kind of recognize it because you were under the throes of that level of exhaustion yourself not too long ago. So it looks like she
Yeah,
basically
like 30
suffered the same
seconds
thing.
ago.
Yeah. While you're doing that, you can hear from the outside this kind of like that, and somebody goes falling from the outside, and you can hear this thump, and then after that, a ow, like that, as Barnaby on the outside was trying to get back in, but wasn't terribly successful on his descent.
Ow. I mean, he was gonna go and pick him up.
Yeah, you come around actually, like you're going inside the house, you just go back to the back part of the yard, and you can see where he's like landed. He's out on the grass, just kind of like sprawled out, and just kind of like staring at the sky, going like, "There's nobody else to kill, right?" He's just like staring at the sky, just not moving.
At that point, Malcolm's just kind of lighting his pipe, leaning against one of the few remaining banisters, and goes, "No, but it was a wonderful landing."
And he's like, yeah, I fuck you, and I mean that with the utmost love and respect. Oh, I'm glad that we're not all dead. And he just sits up from where he's at, and he's, he's not soaking wet like the rest of you, since he spent most of his time in-house and up on the roof. But he's like, "How's Estelle?"
She seems okay. She's unconscious, but her pulse is steady.
He's like,
Nothing broken.
"Okay, that's good." And whenever Memphis comes around, he looks down at Estelle, who's, just looking like she's like in a deep sleep. He's nods his head. It's like, "She held out pretty well. I'm not sure exactly what she was able to do. I only had to ask her to do something, and she was able to dive right in. She's got talent. Much like her son, apparently."
That was a pretty cool attack.
And he just looks up from, because you guys are talking from like inside the house to outside of in the yard. He's just like, "The defense was something basic, something I could manipulate for myself, but I was able to have her help me by making it much larger. And to be perfectly frank, I wouldn't have been able to do anything like that. I'm sorry that I brought all this trouble."
Don't worry, you'll get a bill.
He just kind of like gives you an eyebrow. He's like, "Fair enough."
I am more concerned about who is sending these things after you that has now become our problem.
Well, apparently some of what you had said in front of Violet had garnered her interest. Not to mention the fact that one of you, I think it was you there, who provided a rather concise address and information of where he could be found. So, I was not suspecting that I was going to be trailed, given the fact that I was under guard, but it would appear that I was mistaken. My enemies are getting a lot more bold.
Seems like it was a good thing you came here then. We were able to fight them off.
You are genuinely too nice. Like, you just...
Danny's gonna like shoot you a glare, like.
And you just hear from, because Malcolm's
Wow.
just saying this from outside because he's not smoking inside.
Yeah.
You just hear Malcolm's voice again going, "Please don't encourage him to be nicer."
Nice tends to get us in trouble, right?
He's just kind of like, he just shakes his head like, "No, I'm fully aware of the fact that this is brought upon you and it was not intentional, but that doesn't make a difference. I have more than enough to compensate you for any of the public or any of the damages to the home, of course, and whatever might be coming of that." He indicates a sound in the distance where you can hear sirens and fire trucks and all that kind of stuff headed this way, as there's still quite a bit of smoke and burning ash and rubble everywhere else, just on the out front yard. The sprinklers are still going.
Oh, I'll turn those off.
Yeah, you basically have to go running out there, find the water main, and turn it off, because it's just they've ruptured, so there's no way to stop the pressure.
Oh, like Danny knows how to turn off a water main. This would take like an hour and a half.
Seriously, like you lived in condos all life.
Yeah. So
It's really funny watching Bill pet His Majesty because like it just looks like you're fondling the void.
I thought you were just like, you know, doing like
There's the
finger
eyes.
exercises.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh man, your hand must be hurting. And I was like,
yeah, that's
a
what I thought
weird
so too. Is
shape.
that it's like working his wrist out.
Yeah.
He's been
And
petting
then
the
all
void.
and then all of a sudden you just see like a pair of golden eyes.
I mean,
appear in
yeah.
my hand.
I was like, oh, the summoning spell's working.
You know what he reminds me
That's
of?
what happens when you
Whenever
go.
it's just the eyes like that. You guys remember the God, what the hell is the name of it? It was the wolf in the Never-Ending Story where you just see the eyes in the shadow.
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah.
It's just that. Well, okay then. Everybody seems to be relatively okay, and there's going to be a lot of
I need to take a
interesting
shower.
questions having to come everybody's way, given the fact that there is a lot of damage and just a lot of weirdness going on. But most of the security systems in the nearby area were going to be fractious at best, with trying to do any kind of recording, etc. Because generally speaking, the supernatural world does not do well with technology on that level, especially whenever it's that condensed. And whenever you're throwing magic around, it makes it even worse. So,
I think that was a good legendary encounter.
yeah, it took a
Yeah,
whole 2
thanks,
sessions.
Grayly.
Well, see, the thing about legendaries is basically it's DM, you need to fuck the players and do it hard. That's basically what that means. I kind of pushed
like,
you guys a little bit,
I
but
feel like Bill got the brunt of that one. Despite the dice.
well, it's a good thing that he can do that, because any of you took the amount of damage he did, you would be dead.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, Danny literally has like 12.
The first time I actually
Like-
had to use the vampiric ability Vitality.
Yeah.
We used it in our fight with the robots, remember, Bill? When you were
Yeah,
parrying
but
bullets?
not to the degree of almost every single damn round. What are you doing? I'm doing this with Vitality. I'm doing this. Let's do a Vitality. I'm doing this.
I mean, but that shows like Danny used up all of his tricks, right? He snuffed that candle. He is like out.
God, that
So,
would have been crazy
it's-
if you hit all 5 targets.
But I mean, it's good that we're like having to pull out all the stops.
Yeah. Yeah, that
You
was a
know,
good
no more luck.
legendary, and
Full
I'm certain that if
exhaustion. Like,
yeah,
Oh, by the way, that community scene is probably one of my favorites of all time.
yeah.
is it the one where he gets the paint grenade in the room?
No, it's the fire, and then
Donald Glover comes in with the pizzas, and
it's just like what's happening.
Britta's like with the little water. Pierce has got, you know. his
Hold on, I
legs
got
been
one. I got
shot.
one. I wonder if I can see it.
But that's when they had the worst timeline, which we've been stuck in this whole time since then.
Hmm.
Oh, come on, I gotta be able to find it.
The cat's trying to attack me.
I can see. I forgot to feed my cat before the session, so he's upset with me.
He's a little angry. Yeah. All right. Well, good sesh. How that put us at right where we need to be, and we utilized quite a bit of our time, given the fact that we kind of bounced in a little early because me and my stupid hotkeys. But it's all good.
You need a special
That'd be-
numpad for your hotkeys.
I need to switch my hotkeys and how they work because I use my numpad for that, and it's like I use my numpad for all my numbering. So I'm like, this is consequently a bad idea.
Well, I thought it was
No numpad.
I thought it was a great session that allowed to explore the combat mechanics, the armor mechanics.
And we
Yeah,
learned
the
a
armor
new
works
thing
pretty
about
good, doesn't it?
this time too.
Yeah, I thought that the way that the armor system works is great.
Yeah, and
I
the thing
took-
about that is
I
that
looked
every
at-
time.
Ken, put this in the archives. Bill's armor is D10 plus 7.
Yeah, he's got crazy good armor. That's what you guys, because the way that his armor was before, it's equivalent to that. That's why it seems that
Yeah,
way.
I gotta figure out what Danny's is.
Yeah,
I've got
just think
the
about the amount of
sleepwear.
damage he had to take to have his right arm cut off, though.
Right.
Right. Mm-hmm. It was significant.
But, you know, a few rabbits will go missing in the field and you'll be back up to full vigor.
Good as
Mhm.
new.
Yeah. Well then, we'll wrap that up for this evening, and hopefully we'll be able to get back to it next Thursday with no interruptions We'll see everybody there. Have a good night. Bye-bye.
Bye.